Coming up next, Weeknight with Ellie Muller. That's right, it's coming up next on the one and only Nick at Night. When late night TV breaks, we fix it. From the gorgeous YouTube Dome Show, not too far away from Potato Land. That's right, I said it, Potato Land. Woo! It's Weeknight with Ellie Muller. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who is building Potato Land. Wait a minute, Potato Land hasn't been built yet? Really? My goodness gracious, Mr. Ellie Muller. Ha! Welcome to Weeknight Update. My name is Ellie Muller. What's up? The theme song was composed by Dr. Matthews Piano, and Troy's gaming spot is Weeknight Update Storyteller. And they are two of our Shoutout Spotlight winners tonight. Along with Evil Emily Dragon Ball 2004. Hopefully she'll return to this program very, very soon. Pierre Kelly, Monster Jeff Fanatic, Cowboys Fanatic, Supercar Fanatic, Welcome to Amazon, Fairboy Films 2, Super Geeked Up / Super Knocked Up, Landon the Hedgehog, and Vroom Vroom. That's right. Please check all those people out. Before we go any further, I just want to thank the Craig Kilborn podcast for interacting with me last night. Granted, it was underneath an episode of the Life Gorgeous podcast you could find on the Craig Kilborn podcast channel, but that's neither here nor there. Thanks, Mr. Kilborn. Hopefully you will be able to watch this program on a regular basis. Now, before we go any further, I just want to give a special shout out to the Craig Kilborn podcast who responded to a comment that I left under an episode of Craig Kilborn's podcast entitled Life Gorgeous. You know what, just the other day, let me start over. Before we get started, I just want to thank the Craig Kilborn podcast for interacting with me last night under an episode of Craig Kilborn's podcast entitled Life Gorgeous, or The Life Gorgeous. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Kilborn. I appreciate that. Maybe one day you'll be able to watch this program and review it. Well, it's worth a shot. Hey, let's find out what's up. Here we go. What's up with potatoes? They are yummy and nutritious. Hey, it's true. Eat them now, please. Hey, did you know that Princess Diana loved roasted potatoes with egg whites and paprika? Yep, that's a royal meal for a royal appetite. Now listen up. Here's how you should boil potatoes for creamy results. Boil them for about 20 minutes. Wait, that's it? That's it? Huh? That was odd. Am I right? Well, it's time for another top 8 list. MP, Mr. Bones, let's go. You got boss. Science category top 8 rejected potato products. Number 8, potato sandwiches. Number 7, potato milk. Number 6, potato water. Number 5, potato burgers. Number 4, potato smarters. Number 3, potato shoes. Number 2, potato socks. And number 1, potato hats. All right, I think that we have gone long enough. Yeah, I think that we should move on. Thank you, boys. Thanks a lot. You know what, hashtag week, no update, hashtag Ellie Wolf, late night, hashtag Ellie Wolf for those from, hashtag spread the word, and hashtag Christmas awesome. Get those hashtags on social media, please. And while I like this thing, subscribe and grow, share your tab section down below. Whoever you please, do not go anywhere. We will be right back with the in-between monologue, Toy Story, a moment for everyone, relevant time, random advice, and this week's comment of the week question. Remember, this is still week no update, and now here it is, your bomb tonight.
Storytime. The receptionist's dark secret was that the computers were only used for Minesweeper.
How did you know?
When it's time to relax, there's only one place for better TV today. It's pre-postmodern, wild and free, watching it at night for good TV.
Pete, you got a great price on that new carpeting, huh? Do you mind if I ask, was padding included? Was installation included? Aw, gee, Pete, I hate to tell you, but for the same price at Empire, you'd have the padding and installation included.
Oh, I don't mind, really.
Empire's prices start at just $6.95 a yard for first quality brand name carpeting, and that always includes polyfoam padding and professional installation.
588-2300 Empire.
Call us anytime.
I'm wanted. What for, Sheriff? I'm just a 49er, looking for a little gold.
You'll see. Shave off that beard. Not with good news. Not with Bic. The Schick disposable beats them both. Schick beats good news for sharpness.
Schick is sharper?
Yep, and Schick beats Bic for overall performance.
And only Schick has a sliding safety cap.
Great shave. Now, why am I wanted?
To take me to the dance tonight, Joe Montana. Try the Schick disposable.
It beats them both.
Welcome back to Week No Update, and now it's time for the in-between monologue. Here we go. As you know, we are talking about potatoes right now. Hey, grow up. Potatoes are actually very good. Now, did you know that the potato is a starchy vegetable? It's true. So when you eat a French fry, you're actually eating a fried version of a vegetable. Now, you know, potatoes prevent you from getting scurvy because they have vitamin C. No wonder why pirates love potatoes so much. Now, potatoes also have a lot of fiber, so the potatoes can help you poop. Now, if you turn the potatoes into French fries, and would you still get some fiber? Strangely enough, you will still get some fiber, yes! And finally, potatoes have carbs, and they're very starchy, just like French fries. Of course, these supermodels, bodybuilders, and extreme dieters wouldn't know anything about that because they have to stay away from potatoes, French fries, and anything that has anything to do with food. Wow. I think that I have said a lot. I have an idea. Let's watch another installment of Toy Story and see what Toy's Gaming Spot has in store for us tonight.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Toy Story with me, Tori Mullins. And so the next story I'm going to be telling you is all about potatoes. And here's the story. The potatoes came out of the compost pile, thick-limbed and determined looking almost like tomatoes. Given their height, you shook your head. Once there are potatoes, there's always potatoes. I liked the infinity of this. I thought Bigot, the potatoes are begetting more potatoes. I thought of who would live in the little house after me. Their wonder at the potatoes, and the potatoes wondering at them. I liked the idea of this happening. Someone happening upon a stalk of potatoes behind their new home. The potatoes reviving amongst the begonias and spiderwort. A little secret and a stable, trustable thing. How fickle we must seem to the potatoes. How entitled to new perspectives and whims. Potatoes only want to stay. But the potatoes could have come from anywhere. Admittedly, I am not someone who shops only at the farmer's market. I am not someone who uses all of the food they buy. That's why I started the compost pile, not to simply throw away the potatoes sprouting eyes, but to compost. I had no idea those withered store-bought potatoes would actually grow. Imagine my surprise when they took off the way they did. It started so slowly. A leak in the basement, the dog's ball rolling across the floor. I thought seismic shift. I thought this house does have strange old bones. I did not think so many potatoes have begun to sprout beneath my home that the house's very foundation has cracked and lifted. The potatoes began curling against the window and through it. When you and I returned from our camping trip, the potatoes had begun to settle into my mattress. The power was off, the faucet running. They set up an aquaponic system. They had grown wise enough to water themselves. My bills were in the thousands. The walls said our bills, but it was not the walls that said it. It was the potatoes growing inside them. The potatoes had established themselves in my bookshelf, had picked up English, then Latin, and then coding. They read the Proust novels I never had. They debated melodrama and ethics in a new life. These potatoes taught the others what they'd learned, and then they transferred all of the munitia and the the utilities, the homeowners, owners' insurance, the catalog, subscriptions into their collective chosen name, Tate Harold. They needed only a co-signer on the loan and a ride to the bank, and really just until they had enough to cover the down payment. We can still be roommates, they said. You can have the room. You can have the back room. There's hardly any light there anyway. You were there for all of it, you said. We'll need to talk it over. Though you knew there was no negotiating with the potatoes, and you took me to get a pizza in town. You better just let them take it. You acquaintanced with the last sip of your beer. You slid a key to your place across the table, then offering a respite, a nod to hold on to in the string of nature's chosen events, which stretched back further than I could comprehend, back to before I was even aware of its beginning, a happening that started happening before I saw that first stem rise above the decay, craning for a spot of sun. This was a miracle, I had to admit. However, merciless fate felt as I witnessed it. How could I blame the potatoes for wanting more than 2 square feet of fresh dirt, when here I was before you wanting so much to have it all? You said, stay as long as you need, and I decided maybe I could. The end. Well, that's the story. Stay tuned where I do the next story. Bye, guys.
Thank you very much, Tori's Gaming Spot. Yes. That was an excellent story. Now, let's have a moment for effort. So, some of you think that a show about potatoes would be an insult to late night TV and the late night talk show format. Well, let me say something to you. The current late night talk show hosts are insulting the late night talk show format and late night TV because they're only talking about politics. I mean, this show is not political at all. I mean, this show may be extremely strange at times, but it's definitely not political. Now, I used to talk about celebrities and various restaurants on this show. After realizing that talking about those things all the time will result in me doing a show on a random TV network at around 4:30 in the morning, I decided to talk about random things on this show instead. You know, things like potatoes, tomatoes, elephants, trees, and several other things. So don't get mad at me talking about potatoes. At least I'm bringing something new to the late night landscape. Do you want to be bored to sleep by someone who's talking about very bad stuff? Or do you want to enjoy a fun show before going to bed? Well, seeing as though you are still here, I can tell that you want a fun show. Well, guess what? Weeknight Update is the only late night show that's actually fun right now. So stay right there. You and I are going to learn more about potatoes right now. And soon, this show will be on TV. Granted, it will probably come on during the wee hours of the morning, but that's not the point. Oh, and one more thing. You can't have French fries without a few potatoes. Yeah, you heard what I said, Mom. French fries come from potatoes. Yeah. Mom. Mom! You've gone too far. I just said a good joke and then you just ruined it. Mom! Folks, I'm sorry. Alright? I tried to make it a real good show and then that happened. Let's have a little talking time, huh? Now, listen to this, folks. Alright? Now, we all know that everyone loves potatoes, but did you know that Princess Diana loved potatoes as well? It's true. Yes, Chef Darren McGrady actually cooked for Princess Diana, and Princess Diana's favorite meal is roasted potato. That's right. Now, here's the kicker, alright? Princess Diana loves roasted potatoes with egg whites and a dash of paprika. Ow! That's rather interesting. Yeah, and here's how you make it. Alright? First, you get your crispy oven roasted potatoes. Then, you get your egg whites. And then you toss the egg white mixture with some paprika. And then you get some salt and some pepper and several herbs. And then you put the whole thing in the oven, for 15 minutes. Make sure that you set your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's how you make roasted potatoes. Wow. Wow. Now that's a royal meal right there. Now that's an elaborate recipe. Of course, when you are boiling potatoes for, creamy results, it's not going to be the same thing. In fact, all you got to do is just boil the potatoes for 18 to 20 minutes. And then when the potatoes have been boiled, you simply smash the potatoes and then put in a little butter and some cream cheese, on the mashed potatoes. And you should have mashed potatoes ready to eat with chicken and whatever else. Wow, that was something else. How about some random advice for the world, huh? If you see someone juggling potatoes on the sidewalk, then please run away. You don't want to get hurt. If someone says that French fries aren't good for you, then please tell that person that French fries actually come from potatoes. That person will feel a lot better. If someone decides to turn potatoes into a few shirts and 5 pairs of pants, then please yell at that person because that would not make any sense at all. And finally, if a company decides to turn a potato into a bar of soap, then you should totally freak out because nobody should ever smell like a potato after a shower. Wow. Wow. That segment was wow. Oh boy. Well, let's go over this week's Comment of the Week question. This week's Comment of the Week question is, if you could make a gourmet meal with 2 limes, 3 tomatoes, 4 potatoes, a lot of sugar, and 5 cups of coffee, then what would you make and how would it taste? Go over to the post section of my YouTube channel page and answer that question as honestly and as thoughtfully as you can. That's it for tonight, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. That's the news, and I am out. Peace. 4x4.
When it's time to relax, there's only one place for better TV today. It's pre-post modern, wild and free, watching it at night for good TV. Yeah.